This is Hoops Network Inc., and in this video you will see the impossible records in NBA history. These are the 19 NBA records that are the most impossible to be beaten, and the first one we'll discuss is the baby-faced assassin's record-breaking shot against the Knicks on December 14, 2021. For the record, here is Curry.
Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record. It's good! There it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time three-point king in the NBA!
If you're not Chef Kirk, who only needed 789 games to break the record, Rowe is on another planet, just like his flash brother Klay Thompson once brought out his inner MJ. Doesn't the third quarter of the 2015 matchup against the Kings, my man went ballistic. It's one thing to top 37 points in a pickup game, but doing this in an NBA game. What's even rarer than becoming the second coming of Jesus for a quarter, dropping triple digits? See, it was March 2nd, 1962, Philadelphia Warriors versus New York Knicks, and fans were hoping for another dominant Wilt Chamberlain showing when instead they got something even better, a 100-point outburst. For reference, the next closest player is Kobe Bryant at one point, a whole 19-point shot. Might as well carve the record in stone, but imagine being red hot and never cooling off during the 2015-16 NBA season. The 73-9 Golden State Warriors did just that with stars like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green in their prime. The question wasn't if they win, it was a matter of how much they win. Only take their season and multiply it by 11, because that's what Bill Russell did. See, I didn't just win one race. He won 11. People out here calling LeBron the GOAT of consistency, but the real goal was born in 1934, 50 years before 1984. That said, LeBron is still the GOAT of longevity, no cap, because this past year, King James became the first player in NBA history to record at least 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. For reference, only a player's NBA history has over 30,000 points. And out of those 8, LeBron is the only player to rank in the top 10 in all Thomas's top 3, and that's not even acknowledging his 10,000 rebounds, a feat that only 42 players have ever accomplished. It's time we stopped calling him King James and started calling him Big Daddy James. On the other hand, there's nothing out of the ordinary about Jose Calderon. That was until the 2008-2009 season, when my man owned the charity straight, shooting a ridiculous 151 for 154. I mean, it was practically unconscious from the line, only called the round. Didn't stay unconscious for too much longer, because the very next season he went from automatic to only 80% from the line, all because he didn't subscribe to the channel. Alright, maybe not. However, there's one thing I do know: the 90s were a golden age for point guard. I'm talking Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton. You get the point. And on December 30th, 1991, point guard broke the single-game record for assists. Only this player wasn't Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, or John Stockton. Instead, it was a relatively unknown Scott Skiles. In a 155-160 blowout against the Nuggets, Skiles dropped 30 assists, 22 points, and 6 rebounds. So not only this guy has scored 30 assists, he put together one of the greatest games, period. But coming in at number 11, we got one of today's best point guards, Russell Westbrook. Well, maybe not. However, before Russell Westbrook was good, imagine all those bricks. He was busy breaking Oscar Robertson's record of 181 triple-doubles, a record no one thought could be broken. So Westbrook came along, faded away.
The fadeaway. And there it is, history. Russell Westbrook has just surpassed Oscar Robertson. It lasted 47 years.
And there it is, history. Russell Westbrook has just surpassed Oscar Robertson. That lasted 47 years. In just 8 seasons alone, Westbrook has scored our mind-blowing 186 triple-doubles, bringing his all-time record season total to 194 heading into the 2022 NBA season. And do what's going on triple-doubles as if he was playing 2K. However, now that we've reached the top 10 most impossible records, we're taking it up a notch. And it all starts with AC Green because Gray knows that sometimes the secret to being great is simply being available, since in his 16-year career Green only missed 3 games, even more impressively from November 19, 1986 to April 18, 2001. Green played in 1192 consecutive games, and Green stayed healthy for 14 straight seasons. Why? Kawhi Leonard can't even go 2 minutes without being injured. But Laci Green never came close to what Drummond did. Did you see there are players born to play basketball, and then there's Andre Drummond, who can shoot a free throw to save it. So on January 20th, 2016, Drummond was sent to the line 36 times, and all because he couldn't hit a damn free throw. It was so bad that Drummond only made 13 free throws all game, making his 23 minutes free throws the most of all time. Bro might be 7 feet tall, but I bet he came crawling to his mama after that monstrosity. But you know who's even worse at shooting free throws? Dennis Rodman, so much so that the Dallas Mavericks sacrificed one of their players just to watch him shoot free throws, because in 1997 Bubble Wells found Rodman 6 times in the game's first 3 minutes. Ernie Wells the fastest.
There he is. He's holding him right there. Yeah. Bulls with the lead. Michael for 3. No, hold on. Official stops play. Wells again.
And he's holding Dennis right now. He's got both arms around Dennis. It's a foul.
Disqualification due to personal fouls. Ever dudes lucky Robin didn't put him in a chokehold, or after that shit, just like The Rock, it's almost into James Harden, because the beard is notorious for being a Baja, which is great as long as he's shooting well. But on January 8th, 2019, this wasn't the case, because Harding shot an atrocious 2 for a team behind. They are breaking the single game record for the most mystery pointers with 16. Sheesh, that's really it. But at least it was a one-time thing wrong, because after this disaster, Parton missed 16 three-pointers 5 more times in the span of just over a year. That's the shooting slip on steroids that doesn't take no for an answer. Just like Wireless won't stop talking back to the referee. Because during the 2000-2001 season, Rasheed Wallace had a whopping 41 technical for reference. That's 1 every 2 games. Some wake up and choose violence. Wireless woke up wanting to make the rest of their job a living hell. Somehow the White House is on the good side, because in 2012, Bro had 29 free throws in a single game. But unfortunately, now it's time to transition from Superman to Air Jordan. Michael Jordan was notoriously good at scoring, and wait for it. So much so that MJ was a 10-time scoring champion, averaging a record-breaking 30.1 points per game. And it's safe to say that his record won't be broken anytime soon. Since KD and LeBron both averaged around 3 points fewer than the goal, some things just never change. And that brings us to our top 3 moments, because these records, well, I'm sure MJ was somewhere having a good laugh about the boss 4,800 plus turnover. And you can take that to the bank, because no one in their right mind wants to break the all-time record for most turnovers. However, if you played 20 seasons like LeBron James, it's bound to happen, and on February 12th, 2021, LeBron's worst nightmare came true.
Timberwolves, a 7-2 spurt to start the third quarter.
But there's no challenges on those plays inside 2 minutes. So,
he just violated! LeBron James just violated the end line.
As West got a piece of this one, that is his 5th turnover. 2 of them have come over the last 30 seconds.
Free throwing LeBron James with the basketball in his hands, but unforced error, trying to push the ball up the floor.
But at least that number to 1 team was anything but shits and giggles. See, it was December 2nd, 2021, under verse Grizzlies scratch that Grizzlies versed themselves, and by the end of the first quarter alone, the Grizzlies lead by 15, which somehow only got worse because by halftime the margin was extended to 36 points. In other words, the game was over. But the Grizzlies refused to let their foot off the pedal. Fast forward to the end of the game, and the final score was 152-79, NBA record 73-point margin. Imagine spending hundreds of dollars just to watch that show. Safe to say those fans won't be returning anytime soon. Although there's still one moment left which takes the cake. It was January 9th, 2011. Miami Heat versus Trailblazers that Joel Anthony turned invisible, because for 29 minutes all my man did was run up and down the court. Literally, in those 29 minutes Anthony scored 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds, and got 4 fouls. In other words, dude had a 000 that even the guy across the street could have recorded a stat of given 29 minutes, but that's what makes this record so remarkable.